Thank you everyone for being here for this month, September 2023's Sunflower State Libraries. Very pleased to have Rachael Hissong, who's currently with the Paola Free Library. We first met Rachael when she was in Oskaloosa as a library director, so she's been around the system for a little bit. So with that said, Rachael, go ahead and take it away, and I will try to run the pictures. If I'm doing a bad job with it, just let me know.
All right, sounds good. Hello, everyone. Thank you for stopping by to learn about the Paola Free Library and a little bit about me and my career path. So my name is Rachael Hissong. I'm the director of the library here in Paola. I've been in the role for about 2.5 years now. So I'm also a board member on the NECLS Executive Board and a board member of the Paola Chamber of Commerce and a member of the Paola Rotary Club. Formerly, I have worked as a library media specialist for Lawrence Public Schools. I did that for a couple of years. And before that, I was the director of the Oskaloosa Public Library for about 4 years. So I started in libraries at the Oskaloosa Public Library in 2013. And in that role, I was the outreach coordinator, and I did a lot of community engagement. I did story times in the library and throughout the community. I supported the library with social media management, website maintenance, and just a variety of other tasks. I had the unique opportunity in Oskaloosa to work side by side with the retiring director for an extensive amount of time. So I learned a lot in that role. And in the small town of Oskaloosa, which is a population of about 1,000, a MLS was not required for the director position. So I started that role and then later decided to get my master's degree. So I also received my Apple certification through NECLS. I graduated with my master's degree, my Master of Library Science degree with a concentration in leadership and administration from Emporia State University in 2018. And I am a proud born and raised Kansan, originally from Shawnee, Kansas. So, and I'm honored to be in my current position in Paola as the library director. So in the photo here, you'll see a picture of me in front of our library's beautiful rotunda room. It's the Kansas in Genealogy room of the Paola Free Library. So next, I'll share a little bit about our community, the Paola community, and then I will delve into the library more. So Paola is the county seat of Miami County, and Miami County is just south of Johnson County. Other Miami County towns include Lewisburg and Osawatomie. One of the most notable features of Paola is the charming town square. So you'll see here some photos of our town square, one nice aerial view, and then one where you can see the fountain there. So it's a well-maintained landscaped square with a water fountain, a gazebo, playground equipment, sidewalks that intersect between all of the features, a large historical statue, and plenty of benches. So this is the go-to spot for the community. A lot of events are held here. The gazebo was actually designed by George Washburn in 1913, and that is the architect who also built or designed the Paola Free Library. So many of the community's festivals and events are hosted at the Park Square, including the lighting of the mayor's Christmas tree event, which is held the day after Thanksgiving each year. So the square is especially charming after that event with a large Christmas tree centralized where the fountains are, and lots of lights and decorations. Some other features that are notable about the community, a favorite spot that I have enjoyed hosting different programs at is Lake Myola. It's a 200-acre lake surrounded by trails with camping amenities where people can go boating, fishing, swimming on the beach. They also have a dog park. So we actually did a program where Well, we've had a couple of programs there. We did a bird watching program with the Jayhawk Audubon Society. We've done a family fishing program with someone representative from the Kansas Department of Wildlife and Parks. And we also worked with some community groups to install a little free library right outside of the dog park. So that's something that we maintain and restock. And it's a great way to get some announcements and information out there about what's going on at the library. Another spot is Wallace Park. So you'll see this picture of the pool that's actually within Wallace Park. And it's another go-to spot. It's a 42-acre park, has walking trails, playground, bike path, tennis courts, basketball courts, a shelter, a skate park, and baseball and softball fields. Also within that is access to the Miami County Fairgrounds and access to the Paola family pool. This picture here is actually from one of our summer reading pool parties. And we typically have about 100 plus attendees attend those events. So it's a very nice pool and a great place to have a program. So another feature on the right there, you'll see the Paola Community Center, and this is the auditorium. It's a fantastic place to do programs, and this is one program that we held. It was an educational bird program, and there were 266 attendees, so it holds around 300 people. So we almost hit the limit that day. But it is actually a historical facility as well. So it was part of the Ursuline Academy grounds built in the 1900s. And if you ever get a chance to drive by, there's some really interesting architecture there. The Paola Country Club is another feature. We actually do our Rotary meetings each week at the Paola Country Club. And there's a 9-hole golf course and a swimming pool there. It's a very beautiful facility. The landscaping is kept up very nicely, and it's a great spot, heavily used. Another neat feature about Paola is we have the Miami County Historical Society and Museum right across the street from the Paola Free Library. So we have a good relationship with them and try to promote some of the things that they offer there. I don't know if that might be on the next slide, Dan. Perfect. The top left there, you can see a room from that museum. So the museum is packed full of artifacts, several hands-on interactive exhibits, and it has an Indian heritage room that offers a full wall display of arrowheads and a full-size teepee. It has one of the largest collections of Native American artifacts in the state of Kansas. So Paola is also known for its agritourism. There are several different wineries and non-traditional farms throughout Paola. And each year in early May, there are spring farm tours, and people come and they visit the different farms. And there are farms with alpacas and Hereford cows, bison, all kinds of really interesting things. And they have items for sale and educational programs that go with those. Some different events that are notable. Being on the Chamber of Commerce board, I've gotten more involved with some of these different events that are hosted by the Chamber. One of those is the car show. So every year there's a really big car show in Paola that draws in a lot of people. There's an average of about 250 cars that are registered for the show, and it takes place in early June. So that's on the bottom left picture right there on the square. And then the other thing that draws in a big crowd is the Roots Festival. So it's held annually in August, and it has live music, blues music, state-sanctioned barbecue championship contest, and all kinds of entertainment on the square. Something else that is notable is the annual fireworks display that's held at Lake Myola, which might be on the next slide, the top left there. And it's provided by the Paola Chamber of Commerce as well. It draws in a big crowd. And on the top right, you'll see a picture of the Jayhawk Marina, and it is located at Hillsdale Lake, which is in Paola. Hillsdale Lake has more than 12,000 acres of park and wildlife area, has the marina, public hunting grounds, shooting range, trails, camping, and from what I read, it draws in almost 1 million visitors a year. So that's pretty good. There's also a local business right off Hillsdale Lake known as S&S Stables, and we've done some work partnering with them. We did an educational horse care program where people got to go out and see the facilities and learn about what it takes to take care of horses. And so a picture on the bottom left there is some people riding horses right by Hillsdale Lake there. So it's a really beautiful route. Another notable feature about Paola that I find really interesting is Kansas Day actually started in Paola. So I added a little picture of our state seal there. So it's said that 15 or 20 youngsters were studying U.S. history at the Paola schools on January 8th, 1877. And they were so excited by the history lesson that the whole school awoke to patriotism on that anniversary and decided to celebrate their pride in Kansas and its victories of peace. So it was announced that an afternoon would be set apart for the study of Kansas, its geography, its history, and its resources. And the afternoon selected was January 29th, 1877. So Paola, to this day, has a lot of Kansas pride, and they've been known to annually host different programs to promote the Kansas Day history. And there's a very healthy appreciation of local history and an excellent school system as well.
Rachel, before we moved on, we did have a couple questions. And first,
Okay.
I just wanted to say I didn't realize how many great outdoor activities there were based around Paola. So I feel like I've kind of missed out on that. It's not a far drive.
Yes.
We had a question about the Little Red Hen Quilt Shop. Is that a group that you work with at all? I know there's a lot of crossover between quilters and library users.
Yeah. Actually, the Little Red Hen Quilt Shop is right behind the library. They have donated materials for different programs that we've done. So yes, we have worked with them a bit. So there's a lot of neat little businesses here in Paola.
There was one other question about just on that square, if because of City Hall's right there, is there issues with parking?
Sometimes parking can be tight. There is a lot across the street that a lot of people like to park there, so that's helpful.
Great, thanks.
Yeah. All right. I've heard from many people, they always ask about the Beethoven restaurant that used to be in Paola. It's no longer here. That it was known for its German food, and we have the recipe book in our library collection. So if anybody's interested in that, it is available to loan. So next, I'll introduce you to the library. This is the exterior of our facility. Many people marvel at our facility. It's very beautiful. It has historical significance. So it was built in 1904 and added on in 2014. And you can see from the entrance here, the top photo is our main entrance. And that is the new part of the facility that was added on in 2014. And it has an accessible door and an elevator inside. So you can go upstairs to the upper level where the main circulation desk is, or downstairs to the youth area. And to the right is the beautiful rotunda and historical part of the building. And the picture on the bottom right shows the outside of where our large reading room is. So you can see there's some nice large windows that bring in a lot of natural light to that area. So the physical facility is one that people enjoy. They're always really excited when they come to our library to learn about the history and just to browse around and see the building. So it's a total of 14,940 square feet. So inside, this is the large reading room that we are in now. And I just saw a question. They asked if we are Carnegie. We are not. So we were designed by Washburn, which I'll get into a little bit more of that history here in a bit. So this is the large reading room and some of our staff. some of our full-time and regular part-time staff. This is one of our in-service days, and we made some t-shirts for the All Together Now summer reading program. So we have 14 employees, 3 full-time employees, 4 regular part-time employees, and 7 part-time student aid employees. The library is open from 9:30 to 8 Monday through Thursday, and 9:30 to 5 on Fridays, 10 to 4 on Saturdays. We have a 7-member appointed board. We meet weekly, well, I meet weekly with city leaders and city department heads at City Hall to learn about different updates throughout the city, and then I share announcements with them as well. So we have a very supportive relationship with our city, which I'm very grateful for. So we can go to the next slide. All right, so here are some other views of the historical side of the building. So the top left and the bottom right, those are views of the large reading room. The fireplace is a big attraction. A lot of people are really intrigued by that. And the top right is our meeting room. So we can divide it to create 2 study rooms, or we open it up for the full meeting room. And the bottom left is the rotunda with the Kansas library, or the Kansas collection and the genealogy collection. We also have a microfilm collection in that room, and the microfilm includes 3 different newspapers, local newspapers, and the Kansas census records. All right, so here you can see some of the newer part of the building. The first picture on the top left is a view looking into the large reading room. So if you were to come into our building and turn right, that's what you would see. We have some display materials out there typically. We have our new materials on a special shelf, so they're easy to find. Right now we have some leftover books from a big Friends book sale that we've put out on carts. So that's what we have in that photo there. Next to it, to the right, is a view of that main area. When you walk up the stairs, we have 6 public access computers, and then we have our main circulation desk. So, and from this view, you can see my office is to the left of the circulation desk, and we have a staff workroom to the right. And then the bottom left gives you another view, more from the circulation desk side, where you can see a lot of the stacks of the adult collection and the computers. And we added in recently that nice display case there. So we like to feature different themed displays. And it's nice because when you walk up the stairs, it's the first thing you see. So it draws a lot of attention. And then I took a photo from another view, more towards the back of the room. So you can see where the elevator is. And then also we have a quilt guild who provides us with a quilt each month that we can display at the library. So we really enjoy, a lot of our patrons also really enjoy seeing those quilts. They're very talented. So that's a view, and you can see the chandelier there in the very back. So that's what you see in the entrance there. So, and then we have our copier, scanner, and fax machine on that level as well. So we can go to the next.
Sure, and there was a question as I advanced about whether or not you have LED lighting there, and also just about your line of sight with your patron computer access. It does look like it's all pretty easy to manage, either for content filtering or just for helping your patrons. But yeah, anything about what kind of lighting you have?
Sure. So the lighting right now is just fluorescent bulbs. We kind of looked into LED, but we weren't quite ready to make that step yet. So, and the computers, yeah, it's really nice because they're right in the center of the room, really easy to keep an eye on, and help people, right there next to the circulation desk. And we check out the computers, so we have that circulation data And yeah, it works really nicely there. So in these photos, you can see, if you go all the way back in that main area to the left, there's a young adult collection room. And that's the top left photo here. So we have a lot of graphic novels, all of our young adult items, and we have some flexible furniture in that area so it can be moved around, and a nice little workspace. There's a desk there where people can work, check out laptops. We do have laptops available to check out if they would like to do that. The picture to the right shows our lobby and our stairwell. So you can see this is what you see when you first walk into the building. So you have access to the elevator, or you can take the stairs up or down. And the bottom left, we'll start to look at some of that lower level, which is where our youth collection is. So this shows some of the beautiful mural that we have down there. We have two really nice murals downstairs in the youth area. And one is here in this photo, and this is our picture book section. And then to the right there, you can see the fireplace down on the lower level. And this is where we keep a lot of our chapter books and our nonfiction in that area. So this is the mural that I am so proud of. It's really a beautiful mural, and it's just really outstanding. So this is one of our supporters here. I guess this was back 2014, a little before when they were first getting ready to open. And so she's a local art teacher there who's really involved with the library. But yeah, there's a lot of characters from picture books. And this is the backdrop for our story time. So Miss Carrie, who does our story times, she does that down there in the family reading room. And this is what the kiddos see, the families see when they come to story time. The bottom pictures are of what used to be just a study room. I just saw the question in the chat that asked about legal problems with the picture book characters. Not yet. I haven't come across that yet. I hope I don't. That's a good question. So the study room downstairs, we made that into a combo room, so it can still be used as a study room, but now it's a makerspace room as well. So we added in some tech and tools that can be used down there. So we have, let's see, we have a 3D printer, and we also have two 3D printers elsewhere in our tech assistant's office. And we have a laptop in there, so different programs can be accessed on the laptop. We have a Cricut machine. We have tools to transfer VHS to DVD, which is something that people ask about more often than you think. We have something that I refer to as the memory lab, and it's basically a cabinet full of digitization tools and different tools that can be used to collect memories, essentially. There's podcast materials and scanning tools, and we have a digital camera that can be used. So all kinds of neat tools down there that people can explore with. And we do hold an open house for the makerspace every Tuesday afternoon, so people can come in and ask questions and explore and learn about it. And occasionally we will have a different themed program where our tech assistant will teach a different feature of a different tool. So that is our makerspace.
We had a question about just being on a 2-floor library. I know we don't have a lot of time, but can you just quickly say like what that's like for you guys at your size of library, having 2 different levels?
Yeah, I will say we have really good security systems, so we can keep an eye on things. Usually, so we have a circulation desk upstairs, the main circulation desk, and one downstairs as well. If for some reason we don't have enough staff to be at both of those locations at once, we just put a sign up downstairs, typically that says, please come upstairs to check out. But usually that's not an issue. So it's worked out well. And it's kind of nice to have the youth separated from the adults that like the quiet area. So that physical separation helps there. So this is, I wanted to include some history about the building. So here you can see the design from George Washburn of Ottawa, and he was regarded as one of Kansas's most, well, highly regarded architects. So, and I have some other history. So the first library in Paola was formed as the Paola Library Association. In 1880, the library was housed in two upper rooms of the city building, and J.W. Sponable, the mayor of Paola, purchased the present lot at Peoria and a gate and presented it to the city of Paola for $1. Sponable also donated the two-story wooden building on this lot, to which the city added a one-story addition. An additional 17 feet of space was later donated by the Sponable estate. The purpose to erect a free library. So it's the Paola Free Library because at once it was not a free library, it was a subscription library. And then in 1902, Martha Smith bequeathed $10,000 for a library to be built in the memory of John Youth Smith. So that's a little bit about the history there.
Yeah. Rachel, I know that we don't have a lot, so you probably will want to kind of give us some highlight of some programs here, because I know we've got a lot.
Yes. So this part we can just kind of go through a little quicker. So
you bet.
Yeah. So top left, we've been doing a lot of programs to draw in some different crowds. So this was a fishing rod repair and maintenance program that was really interesting. And then the bottom left is one of our bird watching events. On the right side there, you'll see a fundraising event that we've hosted, our coffee house fundraiser by the Friends, and we have live music, and that room has really great acoustics, so it's a lot of fun, and the lighting is really great for events there. So that's something, and we've added just a passive activity. We have a chess set now that we recently added to the library, so we can go to the next slide there. I got to attend the Dolly Parton event recently. I was very excited about that. I partnered with the Parents as Teachers here in Miami County to get that off the ground here in Miami County, and so I was invited to the event. And then on the right there is a picture of one of the businesses that we've partnered with. Fire Lake Soapery has a really great business here in town, and they did a hands-on program where they taught how to make body sugar scrubs, but they have different soaps and things that they sell. So we can go to the next slide. We have a fishing pole lending program here at the library. So that's something fun and different that we are trying. We had a fly tying event where a volunteer taught how to tie different flies for fishing. To the right there, we are very involved. The Heartland Art Guild is another group that we partner with. And so they displayed some of their artwork. And then we have in the middle bottom there, a picture of one of our friends' book sales outside of the library. So we can go to the next. Okay, and then just some other fun photos. It's our staff dressed up on Halloween as the Sanderson sisters. And then a New Year's Eve party on the top right there, and a STEAM event. We've been doing some STEAM events on the bottom right there. This is on the left, our little free library that we installed. It's different groups. I worked with the school shop class and the Heartland Art Guild to get that off the ground. To the right there is our event at the S&S stables. So that was really neat to get to see the inside of the facility and learn about that, what they have to offer there. Some of our other events, we've had Santa at the library. We usually do that each year. Kids get free books. The bottom middle is Miss Carrie, our youth librarian and assistant director, and she does our story time. So that's one of our story times there. The right is an event that we had with Sharice Davids here at the library, and she was the author of a picture book. So she talked about her picture book, read the book, and we had a great discussion. So we can go to the next one.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if we had anything
Is there another one?
else.
Oh,
I don't think so, no.
Okay.
So yeah,
Yeah.
thank you so much for sharing all of that. You've got so many great activities around the area and partnerships. We pretty much are done here, but did you have any final thoughts? We really appreciate you being here today.
I know that was a lot of information to squeeze in there.
That's right.
Um, I don't think so. We have about 30,000 items in our physical collection and 5,370 card holders. I think that was the other thing that I just wanted to share. And if anyone has any questions, please feel welcome to reach out. I'd be happy to answer them.
All right. Thank you so much. All right, folks, we will let you continue on your day and we'll see you at the next one of our Sunflower State Libraries. I do believe we'll have Ray from the state library, the state librarian, talking to us next month. So hopefully you can tune into that. And thanks again, everybody. See you later.
Thank you.